What's going on, everybody? This is Rick Del Santo, and you're watching the PWZ podcast. Joining me today are Talking Tommy and Matt DaCorte. What's going on, gentlemen?
Good, Matt.
I'm doing very well, Rick. Thank you very much for having me on, as always. And as we were talking about in our little pre-live huddle, I unfortunately will not be at the CPW event this Saturday, but I got a lot of love for everybody on the card. I got a lot of love for the Coliseum Pro Wrestling. And so I want to, do whatever I can to, give big ups to all the talent on the card and the promotion itself. I want to see it succeed. I want to see everybody on the card succeed. And so, and it will be left in the very capable hands of not only the good-looking, lady-loving, talking Tommy Sabin. I got that right?
Right on point, my friend.
Wonderful. Not only that, but you get the lovely Cindy Hart as well. So, I mean, it's going to be in good hands, and it's going to be a tremendous show. I'm excited to talk about it. And, Rick, are you going to be there on Saturday?
I will absolutely be there. I would not miss this show for the world.
Make sure you get me some good footage. I know you will.
Absolutely. This I'll have it up probably end of the night that night. And if you're just tuning in, we are going to be discussing Coliseum Pro Wrestling's show this coming Saturday. It's Course of Honor, correct?
Correct.
Oh my goodness! Look who's in the chat. Lucas Chase.
Oh,
I mean, you can't talk about CPW without the champ. The Cure, Lucas Chase. We're getting cured. We're not even 5 minutes in, and we're already getting cured. The vaccination has hit, ladies and gentlemen.
I have to watch my words very carefully now because I don't want to be a part of the next Lucas Chase promo that may or may not happen at that event on Saturday. So,
listen,
Lucas...
he's growing on me because he didn't kick me out of the ring last time at Paradise Alley when I interviewed him. So he allowed me to stay in the ring and actually hold the microphone for him. So I appreciate that, Lucas. You're growing on me.
Baby steps.
One step at a time.
Yes, but so listen, since we see him in the chat right here, let's just kick it off. We got the world title match, The Cure taking on Montekia. And this has got a little story behind it here because Montekia was supposed to be in the tournament at the first ever Coliseum Pro Wrestling event, but some things happened. He unfortunately couldn't make it, had to pull out, and now he's getting the opportunity for that championship that he could have fought for at that first event. So there's a little story behind this, and whenever you get something like that, it always adds a little extra intrigue to what's already on paper a pretty great match.
Yeah, this is a great example as to what it means to be a fighting.
Did we lose Tommy?
Tommy,
I think we lost Tommy.
Oh, boy.
I think we lost Tommy. Let's hope that he signs in. Maybe his phone died. Anyways, right here, I am looking forward to this match big time. I think it's going to be a fantastic matchup. I think that I do, however, think Mr. Lucas Chase is going to walk away with that victory.
I mean, if he very well could. Oh, there he is.
There he is. Is that him? He's coming back.
I think he just froze again.
Maybe not. Technical difficulties, as always, here on the PWZ.
I will tag in for just a minute, and I always like looking at stylistic matchups because, as they say in MMA, it's very true in pro wrestling as well. Styles make fights, and you got a very powerful, the bruiser, if you will, in Lucas Chase. He's also a very technical wrestler, and he can cut you down with words. He can cut you down with fists. He's very close to what I consider the total package. But Montekia, he fancies himself a superhero, and he flies around the ring like a superhero. Very unpredictable, very high-paced. So I think that's what Rick, and I just want to get your thoughts on this, but I think that's going to be the story of the match itself, is the pace and the high-flying ability of Montekia versus the technical and physical abilities of Lucas Chase.
Chase is going to have to keep him grounded in order to walk away with that victory. I believe that, which I think that he can. He has a very good style to take his opponents apart, so to say.
No doubt. No doubt. And it's just it really is a very, heavy stylistic matchup. Again, there's a story behind it, and it's going to be a very fun match for the fans. It's going to be. I can't wait to watch it back. Whenever you post the footage, Rick, I really can't. And Montekia, like I said, he's been all over the place. I believe I've seen him House of Glory, and Lucas Chase has had a tremendous year as well. Tommy, since you're back, enlighten the people on the year that Lucas Chase has had.
Yeah, first off, my apologies. My Wi-Fi briefly went out, so just my sincerest apologies about that. Of course, such perfect timing, huh?
That's what happens when you live in East Haven.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd be the first to tell you there's not many good things going on in East Haven, but at least East Haven has someone that's good looking and lady loving. But
Wow.
to go on, is what I was saying about Lucas Chase. Yeah, he is, out of all the guys I've had the pleasure of working with, I don't think a wrestler that has had more success than Lucas Chase. He has just been unbelievable, racking up win after win after win. I honestly do not remember the last time, and this is not including his Iron Man match with Showtime Marcel Williams at our last alley fights, where Williams did score a few falls during the match, but not including that, I really don't remember the last time Lucas Chase has been pinned or submitted to lose a match. And it just goes to show what an incredible run this has been for him. Finally tasting championship gold in PAPW, the inaugural champ in CPW. And as I said before, he's definitely the definition of a fighting champion, because once he won the championship at our debut show, Opportunity for Success, he then went on and immediately issued the challenge to Montekia, because he definitely wanted to step in the ring with him and throw it down. And so for him to, instead of just going right off and into the sunset and celebrating his championship victory, he immediately is already looking ahead. And that's the definition of a great champion, and like I said, a fighting champion as well. Right away, issuing the open challenge to Montekia. Took some time to get an answer, but Montekia finally accepted, and can't tell you how excited I am to see this match. And yes, Lucas Chase, it's been an unbelievable year for him, and I'm excited to see what, as we are halfway through the year already, more than halfway at that. Very excited to see what the remainder of 2022 holds for the Cure.
That's why
Absolutely.
we keep you around, Tommy. You get the excellent breakdown right there. Excellent.
Excellent. Thank you, Tommy. All right, so let's go to we have a three-way. Nutrius X and Showtime, Marcel Williams, and Mark Alexander, which originally was Showtime and just Alexander. The Nutrius X was added to the mix.
Well, as they say in the wrestling business, folks, card subject to change. But I don't think that this is a bad change by any means. And if anything, this match just got a heck of a lot more exciting. And another theme I think you're going to see throughout the night is not only the stylistic matchups that I mentioned earlier, but this is kind of like the young versus the old, and not old in a bad way, but veteran versus up and comer is more the way I should have phrased it, because you have two really just incredibly talented veteran wrestlers in Showtime, Marcel Williams, and Nutrius X. The three of us were on hand and witnessed Nutrius X's first match in, I think, like a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. Mm-hmm. And I would say that he still got it, but the reality is he's never lost it, probably. So one of the most well-rounded competitors there is, but you could say that about Showtime as well. But Mark Alexander, he has a fire in him. Once the action starts flowing, he starts feeling the energy, the crowd, the adrenaline. I mean, he looks like a beast and is near unstoppable when he feels that energy. So it's going to be a, can the young up and comer take out not just one, but two chiseled veterans of the game?
Well said, Matt. And I agree. For a lot of fans that might not know anything about NutriSX, especially like if you're a fan from Paradise Alley, I mean, NutriSX has basically done it all. He's a guy you would call, in baseball, a five-tool player. He definitely, as we said, made his return, almost 2 year return back at Empire Pro Wrestling, and we mentioned him earlier. He went toe to toe with Montekia, and I mean, it was unbelievable to watch. He had not any bit of ring rust whatsoever. That man got in there and busted his ass, and it was so good to see him back in the ring, and very excited to see him officially back. Because a lot of fans, we weren't, and us too, we weren't sure if this was just maybe a one-time thing, one and done. But no, he is back, and he is ready to get it going. Finish where to not really finish where he started, but continue to the greatness that he has brought to this business, and to be doing it at CPW for the first time, going up against another veteran like Showtime Marcel Williams, another guy who has really accomplished it all. And against, again, Mark Alexander, up and coming. I mean, I can't tell you, every time I see a match involving Mark Alexander, I just get more and more impressed with this young kid. He's just incredible. Very passionate about this business, and very excited to see. This is a first for him, getting in the ring with these two guys. So I know this might be one of Mark's toughest challenges yet, but I know he's going to go in, head first, and he's just going to he's. I mean, you never know. This could be a big moment for Mark Alexander. If he's able to pull away with this one, going to be a big moment for him in his young career.
And I would go as far to say, Tommy, that it is his toughest test so far, because I mean, Showtime Marcel Williams, I mean, he won just about every championship in PAPW, and NutriSX, I mean, aside from like maybe one or two, basically the same thing. And they're two of the most exciting wrestlers to watch. They're two of the most accomplished wrestlers I've had the pleasure of working with. And so I'm not sure that Mark has been in there with guys of that caliber yet. So it's definitely that is definitely up for debate. Like, I've seen a lot of wrestling in the past 2 years, so I might be forgetting something, but it is no doubt going to be a very tough a challenge for Mark. But with the way he's been, I think he could surprise a lot of people, and I definitely wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility that he could definitely pull out a win here.
Three different styles here in this match. NutriSX, speaking of NutriSX, he looks like he's in the best shape that he's been in a very long time. I think the last time I saw him, prior to this, he wasn't looking as good as he was when I saw him at Empire Pro. He put on a tremendous performance against Montekia. Such a great match that was. Marcel is well-rounded, could work a lot of different styles, and Mark Alexander is also, like you guys said, tremendous up-and-comer. I have a feeling that this is just going to be a great match all around. Very exciting. Yeah.
What do we got next, gents?
We got Stevie Legend taking on
Stevie
Louis Leon. Is it Louis Leon?
The premier Luis Leon.
All right, there you go. I saw him. He was at what the hell is that? At the Cadillac Ranch show, Wild Wrestling. He got the crap kicked out of him by Vlad, or his ass handed to him, as you could say.
Not a good night.
Not a good night for him. No. Walked in there with his, very arrogantly, and then he got taught a lesson. Stevie Legend is another great up-and-comer, is constantly improving in the ring. Very nice kid. I have a feeling this is going to be a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, two guys that are up and coming. Stevie Legend. I know recently, I believe it was the 4th of July, actually, got a taste of championship gold for the first time.
Yep.
I believe, was it up in Maine or was it New Hampshire?
It's the Central Maine television title.
So there you go. It was up in Maine. So very excited. Big moment for Stevie, and now he's just going to continue that success going forward. And Luis Leon, he calls himself the Premier. Back at Wild Wild Wrestling, though, we didn't see much of a premiere. It was maybe I don't know what you want to call it. If it was, I don't know if it was a premiere, if it was the epilogue, if it was I don't know what you want to call it. Once Vlad entered that ring, but Luis Leon, though, what I'm excited to see, much like Talking Tommy, we certainly know how to talk the talk. And that was what Luis Leon was all about when he got in the ring. No fear, just got on the mic and just and talked the talk, did what he did, and said what he had to say. But unfortunately, once Vlad entered, we saw that he was unable to walk the walk. But now facing someone that's not of the size of someone like Vlad, Luis Leon, I think, has a good shot to really make up for what happened back in Southington, and have the chance to not only talk the talk, but now officially walk the walk. So we shall see.
We've got Kenny and Carla are in our chat saying
What's
hello
up, Ken?
to you,
Carla, how
gentlemen.
we doing?
All
Going
right.
on?
And Tommy, just to you alluded to it, and I'll I would definitely want to add a little to that. I don't think what we saw at the Cadillac Ranch is indicative of what the Premier is actually really capable of. Because let's face it, when Vlad's music hits and he walks out,
Oh shit!
it's pretty much game over at that
Yes.
point. So, but I've seen Luis Leon in some other places up around Masson, Rhode Island, and he can definitely go. And he's once again brings a high pace. He's got a lot of different tools in the toolbox, as they say. Can beat you in a lot of different ways, and like against someone else other than Vlad, I think we're going to really see the true Premier Luis Leon in at Coliseum Pro Wrestling on Saturday. Well, you guys will see it. I'll see it later, thanks to Rick with the video. But yeah, Stevie Legend, as you guys mentioned, this guy, I remember I actually announced Stevie Legend's first match. I believe it was 2019 at Shut Up and Wrestle. Stevie, if you see this, if I'm wrong, please do feel free to correct me. But he has just come leaps and bounds since then. And, this is a guy much like Mark Alexander, where he's always hungry, always, wanting to go to new places, even if it's just to watch and soak in what he's seeing. If he's not on the card, just take in that knowledge and observe. And it's definitely, all that, work, all that effort he's putting in is starting to show off. And, I think this is a match that could surprise a lot of people. And it's definitely, one you want to keep your eye on. Definitely don't sleep on it, because, like I said, I think these guys are going to come out guns blazing. They're going to try and prove something, and when you got something to prove, it always makes you that much more dangerous. So this one is definitely one to keep an eye on for sure.
All right. You guys have anything else to say about this one? That's it. All right.
I think we covered it.
A match that I am looking forward to. Oh, hold on. Before I get to this, the Guardian of Chaos is in the chat. Thank you, GOC, for tuning in.
A mentor
Legend.
to the two of us. That is for sure.
And we've got Steven Stetson taking on Bloodsaw. This, I have a feeling, Stetson has improved leaps and bounds. He's working some great shows out there for Beyond and Wrestling Open. He's just a tremendous performer. Of course, Bloodsaw is a veteran in the area. I have a feeling that this is just going to be a great match right here.
Yeah, this is another one where we say card subject to change, as Steve Stetson was supposed to go one-on-one with Bobby Buffet, the reigning and now officially longest reigning Monster Factory Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. Congrats to you, Bobby. Shout out to Bobby. Unfortunately, Bobby, I believe, suffered a minor ankle injury and is unable to compete. And, I honestly, though, we're still very excited to see Bloodsaw make his Coliseum Pro Wrestling debut. longest reigning United States champ in PAPW history, and he brings so much to the table. I mean, of course, his energy. That's the big one for me. The energy he has gets the crowd going. Steve Stetson, though, I have not seen Steve Stetson in quite some time. He's definitely matured. A lot of fans knew him as an old cowboy. We called him Big Cow, and but he's definitely matured over the years. And here he is, Steve Stetson. He has gotten into such great physical shape, and he has been, as Rick already pointed out, has been all over. I do believe he's made an appearance or two on AEW Dark.
That is correct.
So he's definitely getting his name out there. He's very young. He's only in his early 20s. And he's really just been all over the place and been so successful early on, and very impressed to see. So I'm very excited to see him after a couple of years, actually, been pre-pandemic, to see him back in the ring live in person and going up against a guy like Bloodsaw. I can't wait for this match, guys.
Yeah, no, this is going to be tremendous, and I have to say I was looking forward to Stetson against Bobby Buffet. Unfortunately, as we've said a few times before, card subject to change. But I mean, you're going to get just equally as good of a match with Bloodsaw being in there, because Tommy, as you mentioned, Bloodsaw. There's very few that can hype up the crowd and get the crowd behind them like Bloodsaw can. That guy is, he's a machine when it comes to, hyping people up. He's a machine in the ring, and he's truly just a lot of fun to watch. The charisma, he just oozes it. The swagger in the ring, all of that. It's Bloodsaw is again, one of a very complete total package wrestler, and he's definitely been one of my favorites to watch since I've been on the scene. And that said, going back to Steve Stetson, pre-pandemic, when I was first coming up in PAPW, I got the chance to work with Steve a few times. And then I didn't see him for a while, and then 2020 happened, so I didn't see a lot of people for for a few months here and there. And then I worked with him at an event last year. I believe it was actually last summer, probably close to a year ago. And it was a completely different person, almost in more ways than one. Completely different mindset, completely different demeanor. Just the way he carried himself and the way he performed. Marked improvement since the first few times I had seen him. And, now that, unfortunately, our paths haven't crossed that much since that event last year, if at all. And so I'm excited to see, because a guy like that, as Tommy mentioned, he's a young guy. And with, how well traveled he's been, where he's been working lately, I can assure people that he's only gotten better. And that's a scary prospect. And we had talked about it a little bit, with Mark Alexander Nutrius Showtime match, but this is another one where you have a young, hungry up and comer who is constantly getting better, constantly trying to prove himself and assert himself as one of the best in this business, taking on a very well-traveled, battle-tested veteran in a guy like Bloodsaw. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Of course, we have the start of the tag team tournament with the tag team qualifiers.
That's right. Very excited.
This
for
is
that.
something. So there's two matches here. I believe. Did you say that there was you're not sure when they were going to be crowned at the next event in August?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're supposed to crown the inaugural CPW Tag Team Champions this Saturday, the 30th, or if they will be at the next Coliseum show. But I know we have these four teams in it, and it's going to be exciting to see. There's most of if from what I've been looking at, it seems like the teams facing off have not faced off prior. So this is all going to be first time tag matches. So very excited to see. If we want to just run through them, we're going to have the first one will be Battle Academy members No Love Lorenzo Vendetta and No Mercy Hunter Tarka. And they will take on, for the first time ever teaming up, the guy, Jack Dalton, or that guy, the guy, Jack Dalton, and the Amish man, Zachariah Gibbs. Very excited to see what this one's going to look like because, as we all know, we're aware of the great chemistry and the success that Chris Battle has taught to all members of Battle Academy. But Jack Dalton and Zachariah Gibbs have not teamed together before, so this is going to be interesting. It could be the start of, who knows? It could be the start of, historic tag team title run. You never know. Expect the unexpected, but I'm very excited to see what this one's going to look like.
Yeah, and this is all four of the competitors in this one. They're all young and they're all hungry. Two of them, you can say, are young, hungry lions. Get it there? See what I did there? But either way, I mean, this is going to be very interesting because Dalton and Gibbs have not tagged together, and I think there's a little difference in the demeanor with them. The Zachariah Gibbs, he's very carefree. Just loves being out in front of people and not on the farm. And he seems very happy-go-lucky and likes to have fun and engage the crowd. But from what I've seen from that guy, he's a little more serious, and he's definitely looking to make a name for himself and break into what is a very talented and somewhat crowded Northeast professional wrestling scene. And the one thing I do think, though, is that I believe that Gibbs and Mr. Dalton may have grown up together. So, there might be, some chemistry from the childhood years. You never know. Maybe that will come into play. But then again, too, times change and people change. So it's going to be very interesting to see how those two work together. Now, on the flip side, you have Tarka and Vendetta, who have been basically attached at the hip for the past 2 years in Battle Academy. And they are so in tune together. And not only that, but when it comes to the Battle Academy, you always have to worry about the X factor. And I'm talking about the numbers game. I'm talking about Mr. No Good Jake Lynn, and I'm talking about Skylar Gray. Because where 1-2 members of Battle Academy go, the rest are sure to follow. So Gibbs and Dalton not only have to worry about what's going on with the ring with the two of them, but also what's going on outside the ring, potentially. That's going to be big. And also another thing too is, Battle Academy they've been making moves, whether it be individually, different sets of teams, but they've been making the rounds. They've been appearing at Northeast Wrestling. Northeast Wrestling brings in a lot of big names, past and present. So just being around people like that, soaking in more knowledge, that just makes them even more dangerous, which is a really scary prospect because they are quite dangerous as it is already. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup for a lot of different reasons, and definitely something to look forward to in my eyes.
I'd have to go with, I know it hasn't been that long, but experience in the Battle Academy here against Dalton and Gibbs. Dalton, though he's been in the game for a very short time, he is very good at what he does, and he has, lots of potential to grow, and he has a lot of time to get better. Gibbs has been around a while. Obviously, he's held championships, and he's, whatever. And I have a feeling that, Tarka
great
and
description there, Rick. Whatever.
I just brain fart. Sorry. So Hunter and Lorenzo, I think, are a great team together, and I think, like you said, not far behind. There's always Jake or Skylar or what have you. And so the numbers game could come into play here, but I have a feeling that they're going to walk away with that victory.
Yeah, and like I said, we talked about the chemistry. it could, we're gonna see Lorenzo and Vendetta and Tarka, but even if it was Vendetta and Jake Lynn, or Vendetta and Skylar Gray, or Hunter and Jake Lynn, it didn't matter what two members of Battle Academy it was. The chemistry would always be there, and that gives them a significant edge in this matchup. And then the other one that we have, this one I'm very excited about. This is definitely gonna be a back and forth matchup. I could already feel it. We're gonna see the 17-year-old veteran, gorgeous Greg Baylor, and let's talk to him. The flyest in the room, Fly Nine Noriega. They're gonna take on the Uptown Boys, the team of your abuela's favorite wrestler, Matt Awesome, and the newly crowned PAPW United States champion. Sorry, Matt, I'm stealing your line. The Bodega Boy, Jarrett Diaz.
It's the Bodega Boy.
So this is going to be very exciting to see Gorgeous Greg and Fly Nye against the Uptown Boys. If fans, if you're around on social media, you might have seen there was a little confrontation following the recent alley fights for PAPW between these four men out in the parking lot, and things almost turned physical. So it was. It's definitely interesting to see what's going to play out come July 30th, because these two teams are definitely ready to go at it.
No, 100%. And this is another one, just very, interesting, mix of competitors in there. You have the king of chancla style, Matt Awesome, and it's not just the flip flop that's going to do damage. I mean, he's, a big bruiser, very powerful offense. And that complements Jarrett Diaz beautifully, because Jarrett Diaz brings a high pace. He can fly, he can move very quickly. And both these guys are also very technical wrestlers too. So it's a perfect complement in styles. Matt Awesome, he's been making the rounds a lot. He's been getting his name out there a lot. He's looking to continue that with his Uptown Boys partner, Jarrett Diaz. I remember the first time I saw Jarrett Diaz, I met him and I said, "Oh, I've never seen this guy before." And then after I saw his match, I said, "Why haven't I seen this guy before? Because this guy is tremendous." And so that United States Championship win, an opportunity like that for Diaz was long overdue, and I don't think opportunities like that are very far behind for Matt Awesome. And I think together opportunities are going to come for them as a unit as well, this being a prime example of that. So and then they're taking on a team of Gorgeous Greg and Fly Nye, and again kind of they're a team that kind of an oddball pairing, to be honest with you. Fly Nye is very, live action, baby. He's as real as it gets. He doesn't mince his words. He doesn't hold back. If something's on his mind, he'll tell you. And if he wants to brawl, he'll brawl. And he has some very innovative offense, very creative in the ring. And Greg Baylor, he's very interesting. He's a modern day throwback, and what I mean by that is he's not the flashiest guy. Obviously he is gorgeous. I mean, let's be real here. But
he's gorgeous, but he ain't good looking. Let's clear the air on that.
Hey, you said it, not me, Tommy. But but I mean, either way, he's incredibly technically sound. He knows how to rile up the crowd. That's for damn sure. And it's just, like I said, he's not going to be busting out like 450 splashes or tope suicidas or any of that, but just how technically sound he is, especially at a young age, is honestly incredible to me. And it's one of those things, again, we've talked about these young guys, but the more that they do, they're just going to get better. And every time I've seen Greg in the ring, whether it's with words or with actions, he is just getting better and better at an exponential rate. And Fly Eye is too. and it's going to be another, just very interesting matchup stylistically. And both teams, it's a pick 'em in my mind. It really is.
Before I speak my mind on this, Adonis is in the chat and he says, "Hello, gentlemen," to Matt and Tommy.
Donnie.
And you too,
and you too,
Rick.
And me too.
What's up,
Yeah.
Donnie?
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in, Adonis.
One of the most loyal fans from PAPW, CPW, EPW, TOS, BST. Adonis is always there. Adonis is 24/7 pro wrestling, and one of the most loyal fans we've got there. Adonis definitely is a huge part of the crowd there. One of the most energetic fans we've got, and love having Adonis at the show. So shout out to you. Thanks for tuning in.
Donnie, if you're still in the chat, give me a 203.
And he's always full of charisma. He's very exciting. He's called the Hype Man. Yeah. I think Fly Nye is full of charisma. The guy is always improving in the ring. I think this is going to be, and obviously he's no stranger to teaming with Baylor. They teamed up against Garcia. And so, they know each other quite well. I think that's going to be a good team. The Uptown Boys, Jarrett Diaz is a phenomenal performer. Like this guy's off the charts good. And if he continues the way he is, he's going to be a huge star someday. And Matt Awesome is just that. He's awesome. He's a really, really great wrestler. I just have a feeling that this is just going to be a really, really good matchup here as well. I think as a whole, this show is going to be very good.
100%.
Yeah.
Do we cover all the bases already, or is there?
I think we've covered every single match. Oh, yeah, it seems like a short show for some reason. Maybe there'll be some surprises when we get there.
That's why I say expect the unexpected, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, I have been in contact with CPW management, obviously, because they're upset that I'm not going to be there. But
Did you get fired?
What's up?
Did you get fired?
Allegedly. No, I'm just kidding.
You're on a warning.
Fired DaCorte.
It's one of those things, and like I said, unfortunately, prior commitments sometimes, and it's the nature of the beast. One of the things that there's nothing you can. It's disappointing when you have a lot of places that you want to work for and you enjoy working with that all just happen to be on the same date. It's
I know.
I hate having to choose like that.
Well, I want to thank you, gentlemen, for tuning in, or for coming on, rather, and covering all the bases, covering this show. I'm going to be there. I'm looking forward to it. I want to thank everybody for jumping in the chat. I can't talk tonight. For everybody for jumping in the chat, everybody that tuned in. Matt, where are you going to be? What do you got coming up outside? Obviously, you've got another commitment. So where else are you going to be? I know you got. You're always busy.
Exactly. And I mean, the best way to see where I'm going to be is just, follow me on my Facebook, Matt DaCorte. My name is thankfully at the bottom of the screen right there. So you can just type that into Facebook and you can get all the details. I'm always posting where I'm going to be every weekend. The same thing on Instagram at MJ DaCorte. MJ and M for Matt, J for my middle name, and my last name. And that's also my Twitter handle. I don't use Twitter though. I think it's a cesspool. So the only reason I go there is really just to look up action figure, movie, and TV show news if I need to. If you'd like to follow me, please do feel free to go ahead. I'm probably not going to see it, but yeah, Facebook and Instagram are the go-to sources for all things Matt DaCorte. I posted some awesome pictures from Cosplay Championship Wrestling last weekend, or maybe it was 2 weekends ago now. Not quite sure. But time flies when you're having fun. But yeah, so good times, and there's a lot of good things coming up in the pipeline. As I've kind of alluded to, Connecticut is really just becoming a major hotbed for professional wrestling action. PAPW's got a lot of good stuff coming up this summer. Blood, Sweat, and Tears has a big one coming up in conjunction with CPW. and Empire Pro Wrestling is going to make its return. Test of Strength just announced Ichiban versus Low Ki.
I can't wait for that.
That is just has insanity written all over it.
Absolutely.
For all of the good reasons.
Yeah.
And what else? The debut of Tetsu Pro Wrestling coming pop-up show for with Bikers Against Animal Cruelty at in North Haven coming up in August. I will be there. Yep.
Excellent.
I don't want to spill any beans, but I'm hearing some very good rumors, and if those rumors come to fruition, you will definitely not want to miss that event, and you might walk home with a new friend too. You never know. So yeah, lots of great stuff coming up in Connecticut, and not just that too. I mean, there's lots of places, promotions that I've worked for, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Even Maine, like upstate New York, they're all doing tremendous things. So, the bottom line is, there's a lot of good things going on TV with wrestling right now, but support independent pro wrestling. You're going to see the stars of today and the stars of tomorrow and see them before you can't anymore, because it's some of these guys, it's only a matter of time. So definitely support indie wrestling. Support Coliseum, support all the other places I mentioned, and it's going to be a fun summer going into the fall.
Tommy.
All I'll say is, Maddie, we're definitely going to miss you on Saturday.
Appreciate that. And like I said, I know it's in good hands.
But folks, don't worry. Your Saturday night is still going to be blessed in West Haven by yours truly, the good-looking Lady Lovin', Talking Tommy, and the debut of our other broadcast colleague, the wonderful Cindy Hart. So
yeah, big
sure
shout out to Cindy. Cindy
not sure if she's tuning in right now. If she is, hey Cindy, we can't very excited for Saturday. But regardless, shout out to Cindy Hart, as well as the rest of the Don Kincaid and the Kincaid Files. And yeah, very excited. So see all you wonderful fans this Saturday, July the 30th, Elks Lodge, West Haven. Very excited. Coliseum Pro Wrestling Course of Honor. The shows just keep getting bigger and better for all these great promotions. So keep supporting independent wrestling. Keep supporting CPW and all these great wrestlers that are putting in the work, busting their ass for all of us. So
and quick thing before we sign off too, because I like putting over the young talent here. And Cindy Hart, she actually as there were some other people that that filled in as well, but she has since taken over a role I had in being the voice of Shut Up and Wrestle. Shout out to Shut Up and Wrestle, Kevin Landry's Pro Wrestling Combine. I would not be sitting here talking with you guys without them. They were huge in my career, and so she's done a tremendous job there. Gaining a really good following. She's doing a lot of good things. So. And Tommy, you are too, my friend. So, like I said, as far as the announcing, interviews, commentary, what have you, like I said, I wish I could clone myself, but it is in good hands. We got Rick taking the video, so life is going to be good, folks.
Sure. And Professor, thank you, of course, as always, for inviting me on. It's always a pleasure to be on PWZ.
I want to thank you guys so much for coming. Obviously, you guys are going to come back. At least I hope so.
We're not going. I know where you live now, so
no, yeah. You guys are always a pleasure to have on, and I have so much fun talking professional wrestling with you guys. I thank everybody for tuning in, and thank you guys, and see you soon.
See you Saturday.